Here on the Relationship Show, we like to have a lot of fun, and we like your feedback. Um, I'll shoot the email down in the description, and I like your questions and feedback. We are going to do a mailbag of questions of emails and just answer the questions from there. All right, we're going to do.
I do not get paid for this.
All right.
This is all in my free time.
There you go. That's what makes it more fun. Mm-hmm. But you drink for free, so that's all that matters.
Indeed.
So
heavy pour.
Right. All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is the spoiler. This is Miss J.
Hey, baby.
And today we're going to get into a little concept of mine, worked out of my own version.
This is his concept. Literally, we have talked about nothing. I have no idea what he's about to say, but I'm about to roll with it. Let's dig it. Let's do it. Okay.
So, I've got a concept of awareness. It's about self-awareness, mm-hmm. and it's called the love triangle, mm-hmm. right? And so, while I'm talking about it, I'll insert it in the video here so you can get a look at what it is. At the top of the pyramid, it's a pyramid. That's why it's called the love triangle. This ain't some whodunit movie, mm-hmm. right? Or who did who? Who zooming who? So, it's not that type of thing. Here, at the top of the pyramid, so you're going to see a pyramid come up on your screen. At the top of the pyramid is unconditional love, mm-hmm. right? Most of us believe...
Does that exist? Unconditional love? You know what? I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Most people believe they are unconditional lovers.
Mm-hmm. I got conditions.
On the other side of the pyramid is loving with conditions. Mm-hmm. That's really where I believe most people fall in is loving in loving with conditions, because I think early on in your life you are doing unconditional love, but then you stay in bad relationships, which causes you to drop down to loving with conditions. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the pyramid, it's just being in love. Who doesn't like the warm, fuzzy feeling of being in love?
I think everybody wants to be with somebody.
Euphoric.
Everybody wants to be with somebody.
Oh, without it. Well, and think about it. I had to get over some of my bitterness, mm-hmm. to really understand that feeling of being in love is very important emotion to experience. Mm-hmm. And if you're lucky, you've experienced it more than once.
Once, right.
Right? So it's a very euphoric feeling. And it's like you just smoked a fucking pound of hash or some shit.
I don't know what that feels like. I've never smoked weed in my life.
I'm just saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So at the top of the pyramid of loving unconditionally, right, we have, that's usually where you get your early experiences in life, and that you're loving unconditionally. But here's the problem with loving unconditionally, right? That does not mean that you stay in a bad relationship. And that's something that we don't get early on, is that loving unconditionally does not mean that you stay in a bad relationship. Loving with conditions does not mean that you stay in a bad relationship. If you're in love and got the warm, fuzzy feeling.
What's the difference between loving unconditionally and loving with conditions?
When you're loving with conditions, right, you're going to draw your line quicker
in the sand
than if you're loving unconditionally. Mm-hmm. You tend to do that. You tend to do that later in life when you have life experiences
and you know who you are.
Right. Well, and two, when you're becoming your own. Mm-hmm. Right. And there's nothing. Understand something with the whole chart. It's only meant for self-awareness, so you know where you are at the time. Mm-hmm. It's not meant to say that one of the three is worse or better than the other.
But what about when you're at that point in life and you're like, yeah, I've got some conditions, but I just don't want to be by myself.
Okay.
What's that?
So you're making a compromise
Okay.
of your conditions. That's really what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're making a compromise. So you're willing to give up something
Mm-hmm.
if he can kind of be molded into doing this and that, and okay, I can live with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what? You don't take a bath every day? Not a deal breaker.
That is definitely a deal breaker.
Not a deal breaker.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker, man. You gotta wash your ass. What are you talking about?
It's not a deal breaker. You know, it's just,
That's a deal breaker.
So that's what that is that you're compromising your conditions to get some kind of satisfaction out of that thing.
Don't we do that though? Regardless of what situation, you could be married and have like a great marriage, but still there's going to be some compromise of conditions.
Oh,
right?
without a doubt. But that's part of being married.
Okay.
Marriage is being part of being married is compromise. You know, that's just the reality.
Do people even want to be married anymore?
Sure,
like,
there's plenty of people that want to be married, but they want to be married in the sense of where it's kind of fantasy. The older you get, the more about business of marriage you should be taken care of.
Okay.
So people want to be married so much they forget about taking care of the business of marriage, and then when that goes tragically wrong,
they remember the other shit.
Right. And I'm not saying that's everybody's thing. I said this is not a brush to one stroke, you know.
Fits all.
Right, right. There's just people that have been married, you know, lots of years, but they put up with a lot of compromise, you know. And that's any marriage that has any time in it, you put up with a lot of compromise on both sides. Otherwise, your marriage will end very quickly, you know, unless there's some other control factors involved. You talk about now who you marry and why you're getting married. And, you know, you deal with your compromises as you find them.
Indeed.
You know, sometimes it's just people that just don't want to compromise nothing. They just want to just never want to be married again. I applaud those people. They're high on my list. Those type of people are going to make America great again.
Did you really just say that shit in here? Really? You just said that in here. Thank you, friends, for joining us. We're going to take a 10-second pause. I need you to turn this shit off so we can discuss something.
So that's the love triangle. Right? If you got any questions, remember it's not meant to say that any one point of the triangle is wrong. It's about self-awareness so that you find out where you fit in the triangle. You don't even have to agree with the triangle. You could say it's a square. But just so that you're self-aware of what you're doing. Remember, this ain't science. This is just out of the mad mind of the swirler.
Right. So, yeah. So I really think it's important. Self-awareness is really important, as my friend the spoiler is saying. Like, I feel like now I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. I feel like we have our personalities, but we morph into something else in order to accommodate and in order to make other people happy. We have children and we morph in order to protect our kids, to make our kids happy, to do what needs to be done in regards to our children. We morph in regards to our spouses or our relationships, and I think it's important that we, as women, don't lose our sense of self and who we really are, and maintaining our individuality, because really it's our job to take care of so many other things that it's easy to get lost in that.
So the things that you see that are wrong, now is the time to fix it, because it's a maverick time. And I think I'm thinking towards relationships in life and love. have not been adjusted properly for the times. So that's why we do these videos, and like I said, your input is definitely wanted.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, even if you want to come on and talk about what you think you want to talk about that deals with life, love, and relationship.
Talk about what?
Well, they want to modernize it. You see, my thing is to modernize it, not just talk about well, Pookie Joe ain't shit, and these motherfuckers out here, they blah blah blah. If you watch previous videos, I done broke down the whole thing about where you are in the relationship thing. Yeah, you're dealing with what I say is 20%. And fucking 15% of them ain't gonna be shit.
Indeed.
Right. So there's your answer right there. And if you can't figure it out by now, I'm gonna have one for you.
Salud. Thanks for joining us. Oh wait, where's my?
This way.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
We're still working that out. So at the end of the day, right, tune back in. We'll have some more gems from you that comes out of the mad mind of the spoiler. And that is the love triangle. I'll have it posted on the page so you can go back and look at it and go, maybe the spoiler is the new Dr. Phil.
I just show up and I just go off of what he's
Hey, I got a couch in my office. I can get my little sternal pad.
I don't even.
As long as I could do the Cash App. We Cash App.
Literally, I just come here and show up. He's like,
well, this is what you need to do.
He's like, take a shower today and meet me in the studio. Okay.
Right. Let's do that thing. So, I am the spoiler. This is Miss J.
Miss J.
And we're talking about your relationships in the modern time.
Me.
We're bringing them forward. All those old ideas, we're going to slowly let you digress and get rid of those old ideas so you can have the best relationship ever. Right? You don't know what you mean. We're helping them having the best relationship ever.
I hope y'all can have the best relationship because mine are all fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. Love you, babe.
Glad I ain't got those issues.
I'm just kidding. Right. All is well.
It's all in fun. It's all in fun. Babe. It's all in fun. That's what it is. But we're hoping to get you to reinvent yourself and have the best relationship ever, no matter what that is. So, I want to say something so bad.
I know you do.
So with that, I'm out of this tease.
Indeed.
We'll see y'all later.
Next time, friends.